Welcome back, you beautiful fucks. It's me, Danny, and today we have a great video because we're taking a chill pill, we're relaxing, all right, just a little bit, and we're gonna talk about some of my ideas that I would love to see, some of my wishes. That's a better way to word it. Some of my wishes for Playmates Monsterverse line, specifically starting off with GXK, Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire, Godzilla Kong: The New Empire. The X is silent. Ugh. Sorry. Clear my throat. But yeah, these are just some ideas I kind of wrote down, and I thought it'd be fun to share them. And if you have any ideas of yourself that you would love to share with me, feel free. I'd love to know what you guys think, because the Monsterverse, as young as it is, sort of young in terms of cinematic universes, there's plenty there that we would love to see figures of, and there's plenty there that will never get a figure made. Let's be honest here, all right? Set ourselves up for low expectations. That way we can't be disappointed. We're not gonna let these companies break our hearts, all right? We're only gonna let them surprise us. So, the day that the murder fish gets a figure is the day I learn how to do a backflip. Promise you that. Promise you that. Because I know it's not going to happen. Anyway, let's just dive into this. I have my phone out here. Hopefully I don't drop it on my keyboard and ruin this entire experience. But, yeah, we're going to start off with GXK. First figure, right off the bat, everybody wants this. But as time goes on, we're losing hope. Titanicilla. So, in the beginning, I was very confident that we were going to get her as a figure because she has the same amount of screen time as Tiamat, pretty much. And Tiamat has a figure. So I was like, well, it's only obvious Scylla's going to get one, right? But I'm starting to fall into that camp of other people that are saying all of the arachnid figures are too hard to make. These toy companies, they struggle to make them, and the articulation is hard and that. So I'm starting to lose hope. There's still a chance. Okay, I feel like there's still some surprises coming within the Playmates line, but I don't know. I'm starting to think like, yeah, maybe we're not. And I just hope, as a backup, maybe Haya will pick up the task and do Scylla, along with a few other Titans. But we'll see. I'm okay with it. If they have to like let's say it's a weight distribution problem. Because her center body's too heavy for those thin crab legs to hold it up. If they have to limit the articulation in her legs to make them sturdier to hold up the weight of her main shell and body, I'm okay with that. Although, with Playmates, I feel like there's a level of articulation they want out of their figures. And if they can't reach it, then they don't do it. So that's what worries me. Looking at their not just their Godzilla figures, but also their Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle figures, which those appear to have a good amount of articulation too, for being only $10. I applaud Playmates for that, but at the same time, if they have to, these are $10 figures, okay? I pay $30 for Movie Monster series figures that barely have any articulation. I'm okay if Playmates has to take away some articulation to make a figure work. All right, that's how I feel. Let me know if you agree or let me know if you agree or disagree. But those are my feelings. Anyway, moving on. These two figures I'm about to say kind of go hand in hand, and I'll explain that in a second. The Wart Dog, I believe that's what it's called, Wart Dog or War Dog. The pack of canines that were chasing Kong in the beginning of the movie, and ape soldiers. Preferably coming with, two weapons. And I say that because both of these figures, I think it'd be fun to army build. Just for fun. A little squad of apes that you can pose with or display with your Scar King. And the Wart Dog, too. Just have a couple of them displayed with Kong. Make it look like he's chasing them. It'd be cool. Again, for $10, too. Can't complain. It'd be a fun way to army build. So I would love to see those. Next, and this is the last thing for GXK, and bear with me. I want to see the battle packs But I want to see battle packs that were as good as the ones we got for GVK. Do not get me wrong. The battle packs we got here at Walmart for this new movie, The New Empire, they're cool. For like $20, you get the 2 figures, their accessories, and you get the little diorama set. You get the crystals, and you get the rib cage, the giant rib cage, with Chimo and Godzilla, and then you get the lava falls with Kong and Scar King. Very nice, and they're all repainted. Very cool. But when you look at those, let's be honest, they're not to the same level as the battle packs that we got with GVK, like the City Destruction set or the Hollow Earth set, which I think is the best one. Like, I honestly feel like if you take those 2 Walmart sets, it feels like they took I refer to the new ones that we have for the New Empire as the Walmart sets because they're only sold at Walmart. And then the GVK sets, I'll refer to those as Target sets because they were only sold at Target. The Walmart sets feel as if they took a Target set and split the diorama in half, or took out the 2 separate pieces of a diorama and sold it separately as 2 separate battle packs. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Because, like, the City Destruction one, you had one half that had like towers on it that you could display Kong in, and then the other half, again, it had the skyscrapers, but also had a building that you can build so you can set like Kong that could hold up Kong on top of it, or Godzilla, whoever. And then you had a little bit of debris pieces here and there. And then with the Hollow Earth set, you had obviously the main Hollow Earth area where it's like the green and the grass and trees, like the cave opening, the waterfall, the cliff, and then the pyramid in the sky. And then you also had Kong's throne room, which is separate, which is just amazing, by the way. That's what makes it my favorite set, because that Kong throne is amazing. But like, if that was sold at Walmart, like, let's take the Kong, the Hollow Earth set that I just mentioned. If that was sold at Walmart, it would feel, I think, the Kong throne would have been its own separate set, and then the Hollow Earth part with the cliff, the pyramid, the cave opening, that would have been its own separate thing. And to be honest, that already feels like too much compared to what you would get at Walmart now. This is the Walmart battle packs. I hope this all makes sense, what I'm trying to say. I'm just rambling nonsense at you guys, and you guys are like, what the fuck is this guy saying? A Walmart, Target, sets? Is he saying sets or sex? Like, what is going on? No, I'm saying, like, I just don't think the Walmart battle packs are as fun as the Target ones. And I'm kind of hopeful that, looking back at history, we gotta go way back. All right, centuries. No, I'm kidding. Looking back to when the battle packs first came out at Target, they came out about like a year or so after the movie. I believe the first one showed up at Target stores about a year after the movie. So I'm kind of hoping that we'll see the same thing happen here, because I have a feeling it's going to be the same cycle here where Walmart will carry Monsterverse stuff for a little while, but once they kind of, the hype of it dies down till the next movie, they'll get rid of all their Monsterverse stuff, and Target will continue to sell it and be the main place to buy Monsterverse stuff in stores. And once that happens, then they'll get their own battle packs again, and they'll be to the same level as the GVK ones. So that's what I hope for, because like, you can do, I have some I wrote down here looking through my notes. We got Egypt, obviously. Get some pyramids and maybe like a little the Sphinx, that way you can display your 6-inch Mothra whenever that comes out, and then some other, maybe like some buildings and such. Then you have Brazil, obviously the final battle. That'd be an awesome set. All the mountains and the city and the beach, and also the temple, the Hollow Earth temple, where they had the zero gravity fight. They could do something with that. So there's a few areas in the movie that I think they could do some pretty cool battle packs if they're to the same level as the Target ones. So that's how I feel on that. Let me know what you guys think. Maybe you really like the Walmart ones. I get it too. They're a little bit cheaper. Like the Walmart ones are only $20 compared to 25 from the Target ones, but $5 extra, I think it's worth it. So let me know what you guys think. Anyways, let's go look at the broader Monsterverse. There's so many Titans they could do, so many other battle packs and figures and Titans and slippers and waffle makers they could make from the Monsterverse, but I narrowed it down to 4 things. Starting from the bottom here, and some of you might think this is pretty dumb, but I'm pretty passionate about this too, because it kind of goes with the whole army building thing. Skullcrawler, the Kong Skull Island version. And here's the thing, I bring this up because toy companies usually love to just take the same mold and repaint it and sell it again. We see it time and time again. Playmates does it too. And I was very confident that years ago when they transitioned from the Godzilla vs. Kong line to just the regular Monsterverse line, and they released a Kong Skull Island Kong figure, I was pretty confident that they were going to re-release their Skullcrawler figure from GVK, but repainted to just be dark gray and light gray. So they can just label it as Skullcrawler or even Skull Devil from Kong Skull Island. Because they're just reusing the same exact mold. Just technically less paint because it had the GVK version also had red on it. They just wouldn't have to put red on it anymore. So I was very confident that they were going to do that, and they didn't. And it's so confusing. I'm like, why not? Like, that's such an easy, bam, we got 2 birds, 1 stone, right? But they didn't. And I would love to see them do that. So, yeah, I'll start there. Next, I would love to see Warbat get another run, but preferably a new mold. I think I mentioned in my video when I brought up Warbat. I think it's called Titans of the Monsterverse. I mentioned that. I'm not the biggest fan of that Warbat figure. It doesn't look the most appealing, especially with the battle damage and the way the wings clip on. And the articulation kind of causes it, and the weight distribution and the articulation kind of causes it to warp a bit. So I think it deserves another try. Listen, if they redid Shin Godzilla, because they gave Shin Godzilla a second chance, they can redo Warbat. All right. And again, it goes back to what I said about Zilla earlier. If they have to limit some of the articulation to just get the figure solid and get it right, then I'm perfectly okay with that. Because I don't know where else we're going to get a Warbat figure. Unless Haya does it. And I'd love to see them do it. But I think Playmates can do a good job with a Warbat figure. If they just give it another chance, okay? Please. Next, Behemoth. That's kind of a given. And I honestly, out of all the Titans, Behemoth is probably, all the Monsterverse original Titans that barely get screen time, Behemoth I feel is the most likely to get a figure from Playmates at some point. Alright? Technically, he already did in that little small pack that you can get on Amazon from Godzilla vs. Kong, because apparently he was supposed to be in that movie. I have a feeling Behemoth will show up again eventually, and they'll make a figure of him. So I'm not too worried about that. Again, Haya, come on now, you definitely could do that. And yes, I also know YMSF, they did a Behemoth figure, and it's great, and I have it. But I think for the wider audience, because the YMSF, that was a very limited run. I think it was only about 100 pieces. I think there's many more fans that would love a Behemoth figure. So I'd love to see that. And finally, last but not least, you did the 6-inch Ghidorah, Playmates. Good for you. It's time to do a giant 2019 Ghidorah, because I swear that was so well. I know, when we talk about Scylla and Behemoth and Tiamat, I'm sure those figures, they probably sell good, but their sales are probably nowhere near some of the big name monsters. I guarantee though, if they were to make a giant size Ghidorah for 2019, that would sell well. Even today's market, where Ghidorah that came out in 2019, I think people would still want that today. So I would love for Playmates to do it. And even though it's Playmates, and yes, I know they have that kind of toy quality, which some people don't like, I think they could do a really good job. Because I do like their 6-inch Ghidorah. If they upscale it to, was it 11 inches? That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. And it would look really, I think it would look cool paired next to the 6-inch figures. Or even the Battle War figures. You know, yeah, it might be too big at that point, but honestly, you know, I'd rather have a Ghidorah that's too big than too small. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Again, when it comes to the Monsterverse, there's so many figures. And I just saw today, like, Titanus Typhoon finally got revealed for the Monarch declassified graphic novel. So there's another Titan right there that will never get a figure probably. We'll see. I would love to be proven wrong, but yeah, there's just so much potential in this line, and I understand once you start getting into some of the graphic novels, again, they just probably won't sell as well. Like, you look on Amazon, Godzilla and Kong figures like sell thousands just on Amazon alone each month. But again, like Tiamat probably doesn't reach that. You know, I don't even think Scar King and Shimo reach those numbers. They probably sell good, but you know, I don't know. Some of the toy companies, they only want to make what's going to sell really good, and sometimes that means they're not going to take risks with some of these lesser known Titans, which is sad. You know, because I would, as a collector, I'd love to see the figures of these guys. I really would. So let me know what you guys think. What do you guys want to see? What do you not want to see? Maybe you disagree with this entire list and you hate me now. Maybe you agree with this entire list and you love me now. Let me know. Anyway, guys, that's it for today's video. I hope you all enjoyed. I hope you all take care. And I will see you all next time.